Hello everybody, how's it going? My name's Ben and welcome to my little special kind of one-off movie kind of podcast I'm going to do. I'm going to see how it does and then I'll probably might do some like lists and things like that. But I thought I'd share I watched a load of movies last year for the first time. I watched over like 470 odd, very close to 500. Yeah, I know, that is a hell of a lot of movies. I'm going to start by sharing with you the top 100 movies, that I really loved and really appreciated watching for the first time this year. Obviously, throughout, you're not just from this year. Any more caveats and things. Obviously, this is all my opinion, all, how I've taken the film, what the film meant to me. There's some guilty pleasures in there. There's some, bangers that, I'm nearly 40, I still haven't got round to. I finally got round to. But, I suppose without further ado, let's just get into it. The first 80 I haven't really ranked. I'm going to kind of do them in the order that they start from in my chart, but it's not set in stone. Do you know what I mean? Nil by Mouth, 1997. A bleak, gritty, in-your-face directorial debut from Gary Oldman with an intense performance from Ray Winstone. Megan, 2002. She served, she slayed. Nothing great critically, but I had a lot of fun with this one. The Insider, 1999. Not the first Michael Mann film you'll see in this countdown. The Untouchables, 1987. Brian De Palma directs this tense crime thriller. Great nail-biting finale to this one. The Host, 2006. This just creeps into my countdown. Bong Joon-ho directs this monster horror. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974. The close, intense camera movements in this one make it feel so real. As someone who's not a massive fan of horror, it's one of a fair few I put off. I was a bit braver in 2023, but hopefully going to be a lot more braver in 2024. I'm still never watching The Exorcist though. A Woman Under the Influence, 1974. Just an uncomfortable, unflinching of its time portrait of a mother, a wife, a woman who's very lonely and a bit eccentric. Fantastic performance by Gina Rowlands, who I had never heard of before this film. Okay, The Holdovers, 2023. Heartwarming film about three very different people finding common ground after being left alone at a boarding school during Christmas. The King of Comedy, 1982. Martin Scorsese directs. Great performance by De Niro. Joker was clearly massively influenced by this film. The Banishes of Inisherin, 2022. While I didn't love the last 30 minutes or so, really great visuals and fantastic performances earns this a spot. Dark City, 1998. Bit of a surprise this one, wasn't expecting much at all, but really decent sci-fi. Some interesting concepts and love the design of the changing landscapes. Rosemary's Baby, 1968. One of those I praise highly, but doubt I will ever watch again. Frustrating as all hell. Saltburn, 2023. Just squeezed in the chart in time. Visually stunning, amazing performances, interesting characters, something a bit shocking and different that pays off for me. Really enjoyed this one. Nimona, 2023. The first of a fair few animations, a genre I had neglected for many years and enjoyed delving into this year. Fun, fresh, great to see some canon queer characters in an animation. The Mitchells vs. the Machines, 2021. Another fun, imaginative animation with some great fun dialogue and characters. Starred Up, 2013. Intense prison drama with a fantastic performance from Jack O'Connell. We Need to Talk About Kevin, 2011. A slow building thriller, frustrating and a bit predictable, but I still really enjoyed this one. Killers of the Flower Moon, 2023. Another one I won't rush back to watch anytime soon, but a well-crafted, important movie with some great performances. The Sixth Sense, 1999. Of course, I knew the twist going in this one, but a great horror thriller I finally ticked off. Portrait of a Lady on Fire, 2019. Visually stunning, just gorgeous with fantastic performances from the two leads. Rope, 1948. The first of a couple of Hitchcocks that make it onto the list. You know what's happened from the go, and it's just a gripping hour and a half of wondering if they're going to be found out. Rush, 2013. Not a Grand Prix racing fan at all, but I really enjoyed this one. Little Shop of Horrors, 1986. Fantastic songs, really catchy, good campy 80s fun. A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. Talking of campy 80s fun, again, big baby with horrors. So Freddy Krueger has always freaked me out before I'd even watched his film, but I ended up just having a good time with this one, quite funny more than anything. Badlands, 1973. Terrence Malick directs one of my favourite films is True Romance, which is clearly heavily influenced by this movie. Had never heard of this film before I came across it this year, so yeah, glad I came across and found this one, as really enjoyed it. Sexy Beast, 2000. Was not expecting the cinematography in this to be so good. Some great shots, another great performance from Ray Winstone in this countdown, and Ben Kingsley showed up as well in this one and steals the show a little bit. Yeah, bit of a hidden gem, definitely worth a watch, this one. What We Do in the Shadows, 2014. Hilarious documentary-style vampire horror that earns itself a spot in this countdown. First Reformed, 2017. I'm not a religious person at all, but I like Ethan Hawke, so I thought I'd give this a go and was pleasantly surprised. Brawl in Cell Block 99, 2017. Vince Vaughn puts in a great intense performance in this one. Violent, nail-biting, a great prison action thriller. Logan, 2017. Can we have some more comic book action movies like this, please? Maverick, 1994. I just know if I had discovered this as a young teen, sort of back in the 90s, I would have wore the VHS out as I did with Lethal Weapon. I'm a sucker for a bit of 90s Mel Gibson, I know, cancelled, and can't believe this one had passed me by all these years. All Quiet on the Waterfront, 2022. I seriously lacked on war movies this year, definitely the first genre to dive into this year, but this was a brilliant watch though. Kubo and the Two Strings, 2016. Another gorgeous animation, unique and original with a lot of heart. The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, 1962. Westerns is one of my favourite subgenres, and while I ticked off a lot of the big guns back in 2022, this was one of a couple I got round to in 2023 that deserved a spot. Great performances from Jon Stewart and John Wayne. The Treasure of Sierra Madre, 1948. Another great western, especially for its time. What a fantastic gripping story of trust and loyalty with some great fun characters. A Quiet Place, 2018. Tense, edge of your seat stuff. Hercules, 1997. Not one I'd ever seen from start to finish. Gutted because it's a banger. The music especially just slaps. Yeah, really like this one. Tangled, 2010. Was not expecting this to go so hard. Inside Out, 2015. Heartwarming and original. Looking forward to the sequel. Up, 2009. How dare the first 5 or so minutes do that to me. Coco, 2017. Just great music and a really heartwarming story. Cool Hand Luke, 1967. Paul Newman puts on a fantastic performance of Luke Jackson, a man who just doesn't want to conform to prison. Inspirational, funny, frustrating, a great watch. After Sun, 2022. Charlotte Wells' debut feature-length is seemingly something of nothing film, following a bog-standard, cheap and cheerful holiday abroad between father and daughter. But there is so much more going on within this one. The more you relate to either character, the tougher the watch. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, 2022. Funny, with a great cast and bunch of characters. Multiverses are definitely in danger of being a bit overdone at this point, but this still keeps it fresh and fun, and yeah, really enjoyable film. About Time, 2013. It's definitely up there as one of my favourite romantic comedies now, for sure. Okay, so our first sort of little cheat where I've given you a 2 for 1, but I wanted to give a couple of other films a shout out, so I've bunched these two together. And it's Captain America The Winter Soldier, 2014, and Captain America Civil War, 2016. So yes, on to Marvel. I'd seen a few of them on and off over the years. Wanted to include both these Captain Americas, as overall that trilogy is probably my favourite, from the sort of solo outings. Yeah, so really great, enjoyable films. Pusher, 1996. Great early performance from Mads Mikkelsen showing his talents. Kes, 1969. Was not expecting this bleak gut punch to the gonads. Sadly, sometimes, even when you find a bit of hope in the most dire or depressing of circumstances, someone will still try and steal it from you. Thor Ragnarok, 2017. This was a banger. Really great fun, exciting action, mixed in with a perfect blend of humour. Road to Perdition, 2002. Sam Mendes directs and Tom Hanks stars in this mob noir type thriller. Was expecting it to be one of those sort of background Sunday films, but found myself really invested and enjoying the story of redemption and revenge in this one. Network, 1976. After 12 Angry Men soared to my favourite film of all time on watching it for the first time in 2022, I was keen to get through some more Sidney Lumet features this year. One of those films that's really ahead of its time and still very relatable. Witness for the Prosecution, 1957. Billy Wilder directs this brilliant courtroom drama, full of twists and turns that keep you guessing until the very end credits. How to Train Your Dragon, 2010. Yet another lovely animation I had never got round to seeing. A strong trilogy though, all in all. Paris, Texas, 1994. While this one did drag in a couple of places for me, it was visually great. The shot of Travis and Jane behind the separating glass was just fantastic, and a great lead performance from Harry Dean Stanton. Princess Mononoke, 1997. The Place Beyond the Pines, 2012. Another one where I wasn't expecting much, but was pleasantly surprised. Raw, 2016. Uncomfortable, oh my god, I can't watch type stuff. But I found it to be a really enjoyable, different kind of horror drama thriller. Yip Man, 2008. Great martial arts movie with some great fighting scenes and an inspiring hero and cause to cheer and root for. Hereditary, 2018. I finally braved this one. Definitely need to watch this again without the aid of a pillow. But yeah, fantastic performance by Toni Collette in particular. Cruella, 2021. The director yelled cut, but Emma Stone heard serve. Good campy fun, great music choices, fun fashion. Never thought I'd find myself rooting for a character that will go on to kill dogs for a living. Coraline, 2009. Amazing stop motion, freaky as all hell in places. But yeah, great original film. The 400 Blows, 1959. This French coming of age is not too dissimilar from Kes in its themes. Not necessarily an enjoyable watch, but an important one I think all the less. Thief, 1981. Michael Mann returns again in this countdown. Great slow building heist turn revenge movie with a fantastic final showdown. Okay, now I've got to try and say this one. Double Indemnity, 1944. Just more fantastic twists and turns in this one. Really enjoyable. Chungking Express, 1994. Wong Kar-wai's movie is a visual masterpiece. It mixes comedy, drama, mystery and romance really well. Minority Report, 2002. I'm not a big sci-fi person. It's really got to have something going in it for me to be invested. So I was pleasantly surprised when I found myself gripped, very early on with this one. Rear Window, 1954. Alfred Hitchcock returns in probably my favourite movie of his. Who knew a film about a nosy neighbour where we only really see from his POV could be so tense and thrilling? Dog Day Afternoon, 1975. Another great Sidney Lumet. His films usually always leave you with something to think about by the time the credits roll. A great performance by Al Pacino as well. The Proposition, 2005. Such a hidden gem, this one. Brilliant cinematography and a great story of brotherhood and revenge. Ray Winstone pops up yet again with another great performance. The Maltese Falcon, 1941. The oldest film in this countdown. A fantastic neo-noir thriller with so many twists and turns to keep you guessing throughout. The Thing, 1982. Tense, terrifying. The early 80s horror, it still stands today. What you don't see is sometimes scarier than what you do. Stalker, 1979. The visuals and colour grading in this film are stunning, an interesting concept with a slow build and an impactful ending. The Favourite, 2018. Olivia Colman steals the show in this Yorgos Lanthimos directed visual masterpiece. Funny, uncomfortable, frustrating. Yeah, this was a great movie. Blowout, 1981. Brian De Palma directs. Some fantastic shots, strong performance from Travolta, and an intense building story with an unforgettable climax. Before Sunrise, 1995, and Before Sunset, 2004. Richard Linklater's Before trilogy was a pleasant surprise. I think the first two are just about on par with each other, so I'll give them the joint. but I was a little less keen on the final chapter of the trilogy. Not unlike a film from 2023 I'm about to discuss in a moment, this captures love and all the ups and downs that go with it. An emotional watch for sure. Past Lives 2023. As I say, like the Before trilogy, this is along the same sort of lines. Two childhood friends are forced apart but remain in each other's thoughts throughout the years, despite their lives moving on. When contact is made, we see they're two people that probably should have always been together. But sadly, life isn't as simple as that. Beautifully acted and shot. I Saw the Devil 2010. Featuring two of my favourite actors whose names I'm probably about to butcher. Lee Byung-hun and Cho Min-sik in an exciting action-packed cat and mouse thriller and revenge story. Arrival 2016. Again, sci-fi, I've really got to be in the zone. Ended up really enjoying this one. Amy Adams puts in a stellar performance. Thought-provoking with some decent twists and turns. Us 2019. Haunting, thought-provoking. Lupita Nyong'o puts in a fantastic performance in the lead. Great twist ending. Oppenheimer 2023. It's a masterpiece, there's just no other word for it. Stunning visuals and sound and storytelling. Brilliant acting. Absolutely mad that it still just falls outside my top 5 Nolans though. In at 20, it's Naked 1993. So into my top 20, and starting with this Mike Leigh directed feature. Unflinching, uncomfortable, unforgettable. Just one of those movies I haven't been able to get out my head since I first saw it. David Thewlis is captivating, interesting and disturbing as the lead Johnny. Ran 1985. Not the only time you will see Akira Kurosawa in this top 20. An epic about greed, about power and what it does to people, to families. Stunning visuals, fantastic battles and set pieces. A must watch for cinema lovers. Dead Man's Shoes 2004. Shane Meadows directs. This was just something else. Paddy Considine is on another level in this. It's intense, sad, and it leaves you with a very hollow feeling by the end. Another one that sat with me long after it had finished. Hamilton 2020. I and ahed whether to include this, as I guess it is technically just a recording of a theatre performance, so calling it a film is probably being a bit generous. But I just couldn't leave this one behind. It's just too good. It's become my favourite musical ever. Paths of Glory 1957. A couple of back-to-back Stanley Kubricks now. A great anti-war film. Captain Philippe Paris might be one of my most hated characters ever. A brilliant achievement for its time. Barry Lyndon 1975. One of the best character studies I've ever seen. Stanley Kubrick's camera work is unmistakable and shines in this feature. He lingers on those shots so well, knowing the right time to cut. Of course, famously only using natural lighting in this one. The music is outstanding, these classical pieces fit in the tempo every time. And of course, Ryan O'Neal is fantastic in the lead role. My favourite Stanley Kubrick, I think. Wolfwalkers 2020. Absolutely gorgeous, simple animation yet stunning use of colours and storytelling. I love the characters and I love the story for this one. Godzilla -1 2023. A fantastic mix of enjoying and being invested in the human story as well as the monster part of the plot. The action scenes are outstanding. Godzilla destroying a city had me on the edge of my seat in the cinema, as did the final showdown. Another great anti-war film in this countdown. The Good, the Bad, the Weird 2008. I did not expect this Korean take on a Western classic to go so hard. A funny, action-packed Western. The chase scene in the desert is one of my favourite action sequences ever. Lee Byung-hun is back again in this countdown, and another of my favourite actors, Song Kang-ho, who already featured in the already mentioned The Host. He steals every scene he's in as the weird character. Highly recommend this one, just good fun. Harakiri 1962. Masako Kobayashi directs this classic samurai movie about dishonour and revenge. Stunning visuals and action for 1962. A great unfolding story. A film I really didn't think I was going to enjoy going by the first few minutes. But eventually, realised I was invested. And before I knew it, I was marvelling at what I just watched as the end credits rolled. Incendies 2010. Another Denis Villeneuve I had yet to tick off. A fantastic movie with a twist I did not see coming. Amadeus, 1984. Milos Forman directs this epic character study of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, as told by the not entirely reliable and extremely jealous narrator Antonio Salieri. Beautiful camera work and lighting, perfect score, and a fantastic lead performance by F. Murray Abraham. Howl's Moving Castle, 2004. There's something about Hayao Miyazaki's work that feels really nostalgic, almost like I've seen the film before, like years past as a kid. Of course, this is impossible in this case, but the best ones, of his capture real magic and real imagination, and while Spirited Away is still my favourite, Howl's Moving Castle is only a stop behind. Avengers Infinity War, 2008. Back with Marvel. I was going to make them share one entry to give space to another, but I think both Infinity War and Endgame deserve their own spots in this top 20. I'd managed to go into these relatively blind. I sort of knew about the snap, but had no idea how impactful an ending to a film that would be. The battle and action sequences are exhilarating, as is having so many of these great characters share the screen finally all together. And then Avengers Endgame 2019. What a final combination of achievement. All these stories over the years coming together for one final showdown. If this is what all these less kind of impressive, in my opinion, more recent Marvel movies are building up to again, I don't know if it will ever be the same. I don't know if they'll ever achieve what they do here again. The stakes certainly don't feel so hype or impressive as yet. As with Infinity War, the mass scale on this thing is just wild. The action is phenomenal. Yeah, some characters, are always going to get left out a bit and not get as much time. But overall, these are two of the best superhero movies of all time for me. The Elephant Man, 1980. Beautifully shot and told, with some amazing acting from John Hurt and Anthony Hopkins. A story, about judging a book by its cover, abuse and exploitation, themes that still really hold in today's day and age with sort of technology and 5 minutes of fame and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, highly recommend this one. Your Name, 2016. About to get back-to-back animations that visually are on another level. This one it blew me away. Gorgeous story, stunning music, and amazing visuals and colours. I just go into this one blind, watch it, and just feel the things. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2018 and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse 2023. Another cheeky joint one, as I sort of par them as about the same. Into the Spider-Verse I think sticks with me a bit more, as I saw it earlier on in the year, and it was like nothing I'd ever seen. It doesn't just tick every box, it smashes it. But Across the Spider-Verse, it doesn't miss either. Get the third movie right, and this could be my favourite trilogy ever. And so in at 2 is La Haine, 1995, a phenomenal gritty telling of 24 hours in the lives of 3 young men in the French suburbs a day after a violent riot. Tempers and tensions are high. The camera work is amazing and captures every emotion, every bit of anger, almost like a documentary. The 3 leads are outstanding. It's a reason it's talked about. It's an absolute must-watch. And so my number one film rated from first watch in 2023 is Seven Samurai, 1954. So my number one first time watch from 2023 is Akira Kurosawa's samurai epic. One that's highly rated and regarded as, up there as one of the best, and one I had in my to-do list for such a long time. The runtime, of course, being my, not today kind of excuse when I went and picked something else. I needn't have worried, because the time it just goes. A phenomenal achievement in movie making, a great story, interesting characters you get invested in, and a brilliant final battle. Really highly recommend this one. And that is my top 100 films that I watched for the first time this year. Again, I got through so many, so there's so many that I'd love to give more shout outs. That's why I want to do some more lists. Any sort of things like that you think of, let me know. I never know what sort of audience I'm going to get. Sometimes my videos pop off and I get a few thousand. Sometimes they get 23. So it's trial and error. See what happens. But yeah, thank you if you did watch and watched all this way through. And yeah, let me know what you think of some of these films, if you rate them, and you know, what did you watch this year and enjoy? Or that being said, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope 2024 brings much happiness and joy to all. Alright, peace out, take care.